attachment is to the British Constitution and laws.
The British government is abusing its power.
We will suffer everything before we renounce our king.
This is not for us, but for God in heaven to decide.
Nothing is left but to fight it out.
February 27th, 1776. The Revolutionary War came to North Carolina at Moores Creek Bridge near Wilmington. North Carolinians fought on both sides of the battle. Though the fighting between North Carolinians was part of a larger war, it reflected long-standing divisions between them. For decades, they had differed over North Carolina's relationship to the British government and how to respond to British policy. As frustration with Great Britain grew, divisions in North Carolina only deepened. This division and frustration was echoed in all 13 American colonies. Smoldering resentment began to break into revolutionary fire. In North Carolina, some resisted the revolution. Others embraced it. Men from across the colony gathered a provincial congress in New Bern to declare that the British government had no right to tax them. As Great Britain sought to force the colonies to submit to its rule and its taxes, many colonists pushed back, demanding no taxation without representation. In solidarity with the resistance, 51 ladies of Edenton, North Carolina, formed the Non-Importation Association, declaring a boycott on British tea. When the war came to North Carolina at Moores Creek Bridge, the Patriots stopped the Loyalists from a rendezvous with British forces. Their victory prevented the British from invading the South and kept the fighting out of the southern colonies for several more years. But any hope of avoiding war was gone.
I see no prospect of reconciliation. Nothing is left but to fight it out.
North Carolina delegates convened at Halifax in April 1776. After contentious debate, they voted to send delegates to the Continental Congress in Philadelphia and empowered them to declare independence from Britain. Thus, North Carolina became the first colony to publicly declare for independence. Later that summer, 3 of the North Carolina delegates, Joseph Hughes, William Hooper, and John Penn, signed the Declaration of Independence. Though the colonies had declared independence, division within North Carolina only grew sharper and nearly overshadowed the broader conflict with Great Britain.
We are loyal subjects of the King. We want no revolution.
Why should we support a king who does not recognize our rights and freedoms?
Under the pressure of the war, North Carolina loyalties continued to splinter. The British recruited enslaved African Americans and some free blacks along the coast. Other free blacks joined the Patriots. Indian tribes weighed their advantages and made their alliances, some siding with the Patriots, others supporting the British. Conflict, at times violent, erupted between neighbors. The bitterness touched everyone, farmers and merchants, people of the coast and the backcountry. Even attempts to remain neutral, as Quakers, Moravians, and others did, guaranteed no safety. The intense conflict brought out a trademark North Carolina trait: fierce independence and devotion to families, land, and way of life. When their independence or their homes were threatened, North Carolinians, loyalist or patriot, joined the fight. North Carolina regiments fought across the colonies under General George Washington and his commanders. The war stretched into years of struggle, grim, bloody, and divisive. After 4 years of frustrated efforts in the northern colonies, British General Lord Cornwallis launched a southern campaign, believing the Loyalist strength there would help turn the tide. But Patriot militias put up a powerful resistance. At Kings Mountain, backcountry Patriot militias joined forces and launched a surprise attack on the British and Loyalists, delivering a stunning defeat. Through the winter and into the spring, North Carolinians continued to fight, neighbor against neighbor. Finally, at Guilford Courthouse, the British defeated the Patriots. But the fighting crippled the British Army, costing it over a quarter of its men. The outcome of the battle emboldened American patriots, even as it demoralized the British.
I never saw such fighting since God made me. The Americans fight like demons.
In many ways, America's war for independence was actually won in the South. Only 7 months after the battle at Guilford Courthouse, Lord Cornwallis surrendered to General George Washington at Yorktown, Virginia, ending the major fighting of the war. America's victory gave birth to a new nation, a nation of 13 independent states under one federal government. As the new nation formed, North Carolina's demand for individual liberty remained strong. North Carolinians refused to ratify the U.S. Constitution until the Bill of Rights was added, protecting their personal freedom. That independent spirit would be an enduring North Carolina trademark, as North Carolinians defended themselves against any threat to their homes, families, land, and way of life.